Hello learners, welcome to the course on North and Northeastern region of India. The course is BSW 044 and I, Professor Rose Nembia Kim, will be your course coordinator. Today we shall start with the course on tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. Now, having understood the different tribal people in India, we will first try and understand about the tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. What is the objective of this session? Well, in this session, we will learn about the tribal communities of Arunachal Pradesh. After introducing the tribals in the state, we shall discuss the flora and fauna, the resources available, the economic state, as well as the tradition and culture, along with the tourism of the state. The session also discusses in brief other minor tribes found in the state. By the end of this session, you should be able to know the tribal scenario in the state, the resources in the state, the socio-economic life of the tribals in the state, and the tradition, beliefs and customs of the tribal in the state. Now, before I begin, it is pertinent for me to mention that the pronunciation of some of the terminologies, such as the name of the tribes, name of the deities, name of the place and practices, among many others, might be incorrect. So I place on record my apologies for any mispronunciation. So let us begin. Well, let me introduce and take you around Arunachal Pradesh first of all. Arunachal Pradesh, the land of the sunrise, is situated in the northeast of India. An imaginary line called the McMahon line determined the northern and the northeastern political boundary of India and of Arunachal Pradesh with Tibet, which is now under China. The eastern boundary coincides with the Myanmar boundary. The boundary of Bhutan and of India coincides in the western part of Arunachal Pradesh. Internally, Arunachal Pradesh shares the southern and western boundaries with the state of Assam and Nagaland. The first Indian soil to greet the sun is at Dong in Lohit district of Arunachal Pradesh, with the religious faith of the vast majority of the territory's people based on the worship of the sun and moon. The erstwhile Northeastern Frontier Agency, known as NEFA, which attained the status of a union territory on January 20, 1972, and was renamed Arunachal Pradesh, achieved full-fledged statehood on February 20, 1987. Its capital, Itanagar, is located in Papumpare district, which was once a seat of historical importance. Arunachal Pradesh has an area of around 83,743 square kilometer, which is 4 times bigger than the area of Manipur, Mizoram and Meghalaya, 8 times of Tripura, and around 500 square kilometers more than Assam. The state of Madhya Pradesh has the biggest area in India, and Arunachal Pradesh is 1/5 of its area. It wouldn't be wrong to say that it is twice as big as Switzerland, Belgium or Denmark. While it has the largest land area among the northeastern states, its density of population, that is 13% per square kilometer, is the lowest, not only in the region but in the entire country. Arunachal Pradesh female to male ratio of 893 is below the regional average of 936. It has the highest ratio of land distribution per person in the region and in the country. It is 7.63 hectares of land to a person in Arunachal, whereas it is 0.67 hectares for Northeast and 0.31 for all India. Now, the state has 16 districts. For example, Changlang, Lower Dibang Valley, Upper Dibang Valley, East Kameng, West Kameng, East Siang, West Siang, Upper Siang, Lohit, Lower Subansiri, Upper Subansiri, Papumpare, Tawang, Tirap, Kurungkumei and Anjao. Now, Arunachal Pradesh topography has hills, mountains, valleys and plains. Hills and mountains predominate. The Great Himalaya spreads to the east and covers most of the northern part of Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh, with about more than a lakh population, more than a crore population, keeps perfect harmony with nature, having its own lifestyle, culture, festivals and dances. The population of Arunachal is predominantly tribal, belonging to the Indo-Mongoloid stock. Now, according to Census 2011 figures, scheduled tribes form 68.78% of the population, as against an average of 8.6% for the whole of India. There are about 26 major tribes, divided into as many as 110 sub-tribes. The principal tribes found are Adi, Nishi, Apatani, Tagin, Mishmi, Kamti, Nokte, Wangcho, Tangshang, Singpo, Mongpa, Shardukpen and Aka, among many others. Now these tribes speak their own dialect, though none have a script of their own. Now, having learned about the demography of Arunachal Pradesh, let us go on and understand about the people. The entire population of Arunachal Pradesh is divided into 3 cultural groups based on socio-political religious affinities. The first groups of tribes profess Buddhism. They include the Monpas, Shardukpens, Membas, Kamtis and Singpos. The second group consists of tribes like the Akas, Kowas, Michis, Baknis, Solungs, Nishis, Apatanis, among many others. Now these tribes practice a form of religion which may be called magico-religious beliefs and practices. Now the third group of tribes are Wangchos and the Noktes, who believe in a sort of animist religion and practice head hunting. Now head hunting is a kind of a tribal practice which is performed by the leaders of the village, and it is existing in many other northeast tribes. Now the Wangchos inhabit the southwestern part of the Tirap district bordering Nagaland. They are fond of wearing decorated headgears and heavy strings of beads on neck, arms, legs and ears. The Noktes inhabit the central part of the Tirap district to the north of the Wangchos. These people have long and traditional contact with the people of the neighboring plains. Many of them are Vaishnavites. Tangshangs is a common name of a people consisting of the Lungchang, Moklong, Yungli, Lungri, Have, among others, and these tribe occupies the Changlang district along the Indo-Myanmar front. The Singpos live on the banks of Tiang and Noa Dihing rivers and extend towards the southeast into the land of the Kamtis. They are a fine athletic race with developed Mongolian features. Their men are expert blacksmiths and the ladies are good weavers. They are Buddhists. The Kamtis live to the south of the Lohit district along the Kamlang, Dehang and Tangapani rivers. The Kamtis are good craftsmen, enterprising traders and skillful agriculturalists. They are also Buddhists. There are 3 main groups of the Mishmis, that is Idu, Miju or Kamen and Digaru or Taraun. The Idus, also called Chilukata by the plain people, live in Dibang Valley district. It is by the manner of hair doing that the Idus are distinguished from other tribes. The front hair is combed down on the brow and then cut straight across from ear to ear. The back hair is collected in a knot. The Mijus live in the Lohit district east of the Tarauns. The Kamans, unlike the Idus, keep their hair long. Agriculture is one of the main occupations of these people. The Digarus call themselves as Taraun. They are good agriculturists. Now the tribes of the East, West and Upper Siang districts are mainly classified under the general title of Adis. They may be divided into 3 main groups such as the Galos, Padams and Miongs, each of which can again be subdivided into a number of subgroups. Along the international frontier in the Tuting area live the Khambas. To the north along the banks of the Sipi river extend the Tagins. The Hilmiris inhabit the lower Kamla valley. The Apatanis are settled in the valley in the center of the lower Subhansari district. The Yishis are divided into several exogamous clans. Now by exogamy, we mean they are allowed to marry outside the clan system. So the Nishi men keep their hair long and tie it in a knot just above the forehead, and they wear cane bands around the waist. The Rusos are commonly called Akas, which means painted, for they have a custom of painting their faces with black marks. The Kowas or the Bugun occupy 7 villages in Tenga and Bichum Valley in the neighborhood of the Sherdukpens. The Puroiks or the Sulungs live mainly in the high altitude of the East Kameng district. The Mijis call themselves Damai. They celebrate many festivals. Arunachal Pradesh is one of the floristically richest states in India and possesses the largest number of flowering plants. This botanically rich state has many interesting plants, including botanical curiosities, rare and endangered plants, economically important plants, and new species. Now, having talked about the plants, let us now go to the flora and fauna of Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is endowed with a number of rare and endangered flora. Its forests are rich in magnificent trees of high economic value. The state is also abound with a number of ferns, a large number of bamboo species, conifers, rhododendrons, and other interesting and wild ornaments. The state is also abound with a number of ferns, a large number of bamboo species, conifers, rhododendrons, and other interesting and wild ornamentals. The state is proud of having about 525 species of orchids which adorn the land and the landscape. Arunachal Pradesh is also home to a number of medicinal plants. The rich and diverse forest types provide natural shelter, food and habitat for wide varieties of wild animals. It is perhaps the state which harbors 4 major cats, that is, the tiger, the leopard, clouded leopard, and the snow leopard, and also the rare feline species like the golden cats and the marble cats. Now, 7 species of primates and all the 3 goat antelopes are also found here. Arunachal Pradesh is the only place in India where takin is found. The state is also rich in aquatic fauna and is a paradise for anglers. Now, mithun, which is a kind of a cow, is a semi-domesticated animal revered by the people of the state. About 60% of the state is covered with rich forests and is known over the world for its rich biodiversity. There is abundance of bamboo cane, orchids, beside economically important tree species. The forests are rich in medicinal plants also. Now, let us talk about the resources. Arunachal Pradesh economy has been primarily agrarian and forest-based. The state has rich mineral deposits of limestone, dolomite, graphite, coal, marble, oil, and natural gas, besides many untapped mineral resources. Coal occurrences are known in all the districts, and limestone has been found in Kameng, Subansiri, Siang, and Lohit district, and white clay occurs in Dibang district. In Tirap, brine wells and salt springs are found. Mica and beryl have been reported from the Yachuli Zero Belt in Lower Subansiri. Prospects for petroleum and natural gas are very bright. The state, with its many rivers and their tributaries, provide immense potential for generation of hydropower. The land is mostly mountainous with Himalayan ranges along the northern borders, crisscrossed with mountain ranges running north-south. These divide the state into 5 river valleys, namely the Kameng, the Subansiri, the Siang, the Lohit, and the Tirap. All these rivers are fed by snows from the Himalayas and countless rivers and rivulets. The other important rivers are Namganchu, the Wangchu, Papumpare, Siom, Simang, Sering, Yamne, Sisar, and Dibang. The mightiest of these rivers is Siang, called Sangpo in Tibet, which is in China, which becomes Brahmaputra after it is joined by the Dibang and the Lohit in the plains of Assam. Now, having understood the flora, fauna, the resources, let us move on to the economy of the state. Few decades past, the entire economy of the people was dependent on shifting cultivation, and barter was the main medium of exchange. Almost everyone is basically a farmer, and women are the main toilers in the field. Accelerated work of the agriculture with better technical know-how, modern implements, better quality of seed and manures has started changing the entire system. With this disappeared the old relation between consumption and production. Now let us look at the tradition and culture of Arunachal Pradesh. The Shruti and the Smriti are equally the vehicles by which historic tradition has been preserved and cultural continuity is maintained in the area in oral literature. Written records for several centuries exist among the Buddhist groups. Generation after generation, the major happenings in the tribe are versified and compressed in a style almost completely different from the spoken language. They are memorized and preserved for the prosperity. The people of this rich and colorful area are of many faiths and speak many tongues. The Yeshis regard the sun goddess as the chief divinity, while the sun and the moon are worshipped as Adoni and Polo by the Adis. The dance and the song are an integral part of the cultural life of the tribes of Arunachal. Now, having talked about the economy, the resources, the flora and fauna, you must be wondering whether tourism is a part of the state. Definitely. Now, let us look at the tourism. Part of the eastern Himalayan ranges, Arunachal Pradesh is the most picturesque tourist destination of India. With its numerous turbulent streams, roaring rivers, deep gorges, lofty mountains, snow-clad peaks, thousands of species of flora and fauna, and an endless variation of scenic beauty, there is tremendous potential for development of tourism in Arunachal Pradesh, especially adventure and ecotourism. Arunachal has vast potential for offering various attractions to the tourists like river rafting, angling, hiking, trekking, mountaineering, hand gliding, snow skiing, etc. For the wildlife enthusiasts and nature lovers, Arunachal has a number of wildlife sanctuaries, national parks and biosphere reserves. Its lush green tropical forests teeming with wildlife. Now, having understood about the tradition, the culture, the tourism, the flora and fauna of Arunachal Pradesh, now I would like to take you to the tribes of Arunachal. Now, first we will look at the tribes of Adi, Yeshi and Apatani. Adi tribe of Arunachal Pradesh were known as Abor. They are concentrated in the Siang district. Adi tribe also belongs to Tibeto-Burmese groups, considering their language, tradition, culture and other aspects. The Adis have two main divisions, the Boyams and the Burmese. Under each, there are a number of sub-tribes such as Miongs, Karkos, Shimonga, Bomdo, Janbos, Pagiks, Boguns, Padams, Milangs and so on. The Galongs are another group of Adis having 7 sub-tribes. By nature, Adis are democratic, having unique sense of history. They have a well-organized village council called kebangs. Now, polyandry, which is the practice or the custom of a woman being married to more than one man at the same time, is unknown. But polygamy, which is the practice of having more than one wife at the same time, is practiced in Adi society. Now, the Adi women are very good weavers and Adi handicrafts are of high standard. Agriculture is the main profession and they prefer primitive jhum cultivation, although they are gradually taking up settled cultivation recently. Mopin is one of the principal festivals of the Adi tribe. The festival is celebrated for 5 days, usually from 4th to 8th of April every year. This is more or less a cultivation festival like Nabana of Bengal, Bahag Bihu of Assam, Pongal and Onam of South India. Now let us look at the tribes of Yishi. The term Nishi or Nishang is derived from the word Ni, which means human being. The origin of the entire tribal group is being traced to mythical figure called APATANI. He is believed to be of supernatural nature, while the first human being was Atnia, from whom Takra, the legendary ancestor of the Yishis, descended. Now, Takra had 3 sons called Dopum, Dodum and Dol, and these have given their names to 3 main branches of the Nishi group. Within each of the 3 main branches, Dopum, Dodum and Dol, there are several sub-branches which may be described as pratris. Now, what are these? They are a descent group or kingship group in some tribal societies. Now, all these in turn are divided into clans. What is a clan, you'll ask? Well, a clan is a group of families who are related to each other. Now, the Yeshi's religion begins with a primary belief in the existence of the Viyus, the spirits and the thought that the world is full of Viyus. There are Viyus in the jungle, on the lofty hills as well as in the shadowy recesses and inaccessible caves on the top of the tall trees, in the river and inside and outside the house. Now, when the rains are incessant and the sky gets stormy with lowering clouds and when gale flows across the hills, the Viyus in their hunting dresses walk all over the world in search of the souls of men. Creepy it may sound, but this is the belief of the people. Now, they are the Orums, the ancestral ghosts, who return from the land of dead to carry the things they had forgotten to take with them. Both the Wiyus and the Orums make the people sick and even cause death unless appeased with appropriate sacrifice. However, the Wiyus and the Orums are not supreme. Andwini is a supreme goddess who controls the universe. No one can achieve anything in this world without her will and kindness. Dwini also decides the fate of a man, whether he will be rich or poor. Now, the name of Andwini is sung in songs on all important occasions. Below the rank of the Supreme Mother Goddess, there is chain of spirits known as Wiyus. The Yishis are comparatively poor and have little cultural tradition of arts and crafts. Only few of them know weaving, though there is some work in bark fiber. In agriculture, the Yishis still depend on slash and burn method. Now, the major crop from Nishi field is paddy, besides millet, sweet potato, etc. Yishis keep mithuns, pigs, fowl, goat, etc., mainly for the purpose of getting milk and meat. The Yishis are fond of different types of ornaments. Most important and valued ornament for the Yishis is a Tibetan metal bell, which is known as maji. The Yishis have 4 types of dances: Buya Sodon, Rob Sodon, Northon, and a dance performed as part of the worship of a spirit called Yap. Now, having known about the Yishis tribe, let us move ahead and understand the Apatani tribes. Now, the Apatanis are settled in Lower Subansiri district and known for the intelligence, applicability, and traditional technology. Their neighbors and the people dwelling on the plains of Assam close to Lower Subansiri district often refer to them as Sardajis of Arunachal Pradesh. Now, firstly, because of the hairstyle, and secondly, the Apatanis are known for their commercial knowledge similar to those of the Sikhs. They were responsible for bringing the Pashmina wool of Tibet to Nepha and carrying Assam silk to Tibet and Nepha. Apatanis may be the only hill tribe who perfectly commercial and who never lose transactions. Apatanis are also known for their agricultural technology. Now, the Apatani is one of the few hill tribes who prepare irrigated or terrace cultivation instead of jhuming. In addition to the Supreme Being, there are good and evil spirits. To carry out the rituals, the Apatanis have the priests known as Aya Galang and Lile Puyo, who perform the rituals as part of the priestly team. Apatanis' religion is a world of spirits and deities. They believe in a Supreme Being who is supposed to be creator of all. The Apatanis believe that all the lives are created out of water, and by evolution, gradually the Homo sapiens were created. The term Apatani probably was created from Abotani, the supreme god as per Dono Polo religion, who created this universe and the life on it. Apatanis have many major and minor festivals. The major festivals are Dri festivals, Morom festival, and Ropi ceremony. Their festivals are mostly based on agriculture. The Dri festival is celebrated sometime in the month of June for a good paddy crop and for protection of the paddy crop from pest. The Morom festival is celebrated in the month of January-February to ensure communal welfare and prosperity. The Ropi ceremony is basically associated with war. This ceremony is performed when a war party was successful in killing an enemy. Now, we shall further discuss about Arunachal Pradesh in the next session, and I hope till now the session has been clear and you have developed some understanding about Arunachal Pradesh. Thank you for listening.